All right, so I got some stuff to work on the spring return for my throttle. So I've done this, you know, it used to be that you would always put the spring kind of behind here so that when you pull this throttle, it would return back out. And I did a setup here where I actually put the springs, and I have this on my bus downstairs now on the 1968cc. But basically it goes something like this, where it probably won't be this spring because it's a little too small of a hook, but it winds up going like this and hooking to the throttle here, so when it goes down it returns up, and they have a nice strong spring, and you do it on both sides. And so the way that I've done this is to, let's see where this little things are. I basically put two little eye bolts into the oh, they're over here. These guys here, and we're gonna see, I had smaller ones on my other motor, but this is all that Lowe's had. So basically then this little eye bolt will go on here, and I'll just drill a hole right through this linkage bar, and it's gonna kind of go diagonally like this. And then the spring will attach this bolt to this eye bolt. So we're gonna go ahead and drill those holes now. Okay, so to do this, what I've done is, I want this eyelet eye bolt to just sit there kind of diagonally coming right out of this crack. That's going to connect my spring. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this hole, and hopefully I won't you know, mess up the integrity of this aluminum thing too much. I think it doesn't need too much load, so I think it should be okay. Like I said, I used a smaller diameter bolt before, but let's see how this works. So I made two dots right where it. Perfect. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like, and I'll do the other side. I said this is going to just, I think it works really good to have the spring on each side. Just pull this throttle back nice and tight from the gas pedal. That way you don't really have to worry about anything messing with how smooth your throttle cable goes. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side here. All right, so I got the two eyelets in here, so you can see this one here, and that pushed all the way through, this one here as well. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put the two bolts on, and I don't want to mess up the integrity of this aluminum piece any further, so I'm just going to kind of screw it down on, you know, bolt it down pretty tightly onto the this weird sort of diagonal area here, and then I'm going to Dremel cut off the remaining part of this bolt. Cutting blade. Reading glasses are going to have to suffice as safety glasses. And I just need to cut off, I'm just going to cut off the Okay, well, that's about as good as it's gonna be. So let's just look at the end results here. So as I said, when the throttle linkage is basically pulled, I will connect the springs to this, and then we can go and look and see what it looks like on the other side. But basically, this is what the end result looks like. This is kind of, this is basically parallel, you can see, and on this side it's the same thing. Got a basically a parallel eye bolt. Spring will attach to that. Over here, basically what this is going to look like. Oh, didn't put them on backwards. Okay, so it goes like this. This one goes on there like this. And then what will happen is these will connect to my throttle. And then I'll have a little spring. And I don't have the correct spring yet, but I can show you basically what's going to happen is there's going to be a spring that goes between here and here. It have to be a smaller spring, and that's going to hold this up like that. All right. That's just a little hack that I did on my first engine, and I'm just going to stick with it on this one because it worked really well. The end result of the spring setup that I've done, it looks like this. So this is the smaller eyelet, but you can see that I did the same exact thing, and I just took a nice small spring, connected it around that bolt, and then what happens is when you pull this down, the spring just returns it very nicely and firmly to its original location. So that's what I just did for the other one with a slightly bigger eye bolt.